it's not coming up. So anyway, let me continue even without the sharing of screen because well, the topic is addressing skill gaps for infrastructural development in Nigeria. And this topic is very apt, especially at this time when Nigeria is having a lot of infrastructural interventions. This is one thing which everyone recognizes, that this government has made a lot of effort to bring a lot of infrastructural interventions in the country. And we can give a list of those. We have the AKK gas pipeline, which is going to deliver gas from the southern states up to the northern states. From Ajakuta up to Kano, 614 kilometer, about a meter diameter gas pipeline, delivering gas at a pressure of about 98 bar. We have the Mambila Power Project, which is going to add 50% of the existing transmitted power in Nigeria, 3,050 megawatts of power. We have the railway expansion projects, and we have several others. The largest refinery in the world is being built in Nigeria at the moment, almost completed. The second largest urea plant from natural gas has also been completed in Nigeria. These are major infrastructural interventions, and for that reason, we need to look at the delivery of these interventions. One of the key challenges in the delivery of these interventions is the area of skill. It is very clear that the AKK gas pipeline, the railway expansion, the power plant, the hydroelectric power plant in Mambila, 3,050 megawatts of power to be added. These require a lot of skills. And unfortunately, the situation we're facing today is the country doesn't have adequate skilled manpower to deliver these projects. This is because the Tibet sector has, in the past several decades, not been able to address the area of skills development. If you look at Tibet, there are two arms in Tibet. There's what is called the technical education and vocational education. Nigerian polytechnics have concentrated for the past 30 years developing the technical aspects, that's the national diploma and higher national diploma. But when it comes to skills, key welding skills that are needed for the AKK gas pipeline, construction skills that are needed for the hydroelectric power delivery, railway technology skills that are needed for the expansion of the railway line, and other process skills needed for the largest refinery being built in Lekki, Lagos. All these skills, unfortunately, our Tibet institutions have not been doing the right type of training to meet those skill gaps. And that's why you have abundant skill gaps in Nigeria and abundant of unemployed graduates, because the graduates of the universities and the graduates of the polytechnics do not have these hands-on skills that are needed by industry. And that's why we at the Nbte are trying to encourage and to bring on board all stakeholders so that we can address these skill gaps. The construction industry, as you are aware, is one industry that has defied COVID. Unfortunately, a lot of the skilled manpower, even in the construction industry, masonry, iron vendors, tilers, plaster of Paris, etc. These are skills that we are getting from Francophone West African countries, Benin, Togo, Chad, and the rest of them. And this is a big challenge for Nigeria. I know Nigeria is the largest country in Africa. More than 20% of the population of Africa lives in Nigeria. 60% of the population of West Africa also live in Nigeria. But unfortunately, the West Africa, smaller French-speaking West African countries are doing better in skills training. And that's why they are filling some of these gaps, especially for the construction industry. Now, for the Mambila power project and for the AKK gas pipeline project, if care is not taken, we shall end up importing labor from other parts of the world. And this will, in a way, be shortchanging the Nigerian youth. So I would recommend that all Tibet institutions must set up so that we work together to meet these skill gaps. The AKK gas pipeline require highly skilled welders, integrity testers, scaffolders, etc. And there is, at the moment, a training program in Kaduna Polytechnic with the NNPC and maybe one other institution, so that the Nigerian youth can be trained to reach the level required. The same thing with the Mambila project. Now, Tibet, as we are aware, was a term developed or adopted rather in 1999 at the World Congress in Seoul, South Korea. And UNESCO has taken a lot of interest in Tibet development, and they have already established the UNESCO Universe International Center for Tibet in Germany. And there are centers across the world trying to promote Tibet. And this is an area where Nigerian polytechnics must be repositioned so that they will not just do the technical education track, but they should also do the vocational training. Now, at the moment, we have a lot of certificates and other qualifications under the vocational training. But the federal government in 2017 has approved the NSQF, the Nigeria Skills Qualification Framework, which is similar to other countries. And we have stages 1 to 6 under the NSQF. It allows, the NSQF differs from the technical education track because the NSQF is supposed to be industry driven. In fact, the syllabus that we use, so-called NOS, that's National Occupation Standards, are developed by industry themselves. And the NSQF also allows competency-based skills training, and it allows pathways, multiple pathways, horizontal and vertical. So NSQF is very flexible, and NSQF, allows, facilitates global mobility of labor, etc. So this is a very good opportunity for our polytechnics and other Tibet institutions to buy in to the NSQF and start training youth in this very important area. The good thing about NSQF is you don't require 5 credits like you require in the university or in the polytechnic NDHND program. Even with what is required is your ability, what your hands can do, what your brain can think, and what your hands can deliver. So the NSQF provides us a bridge of trust between the world of work and the world of education and training. In Nigeria, the stakeholders of NSQF include the following. The Nbte is there as regulators, but we have professional bodies like Nbte, NIOB, NSE, Koren, etc., as awarding bodies. And the entire scheme is supervised by the National Skills Council, which is chaired by His Excellency, the Vice President of Nigeria. And you have key industry players, including the Nbte Group chairman as members, and a few other industrialists are also members. Now, the NSQF sets to allow industry players to play a key role in the skills training because the syllabus, the NOS, are actually developed by the industry themselves, and they are dynamic. As the technology landscape changes, the NOS also changes. The only thing is lecturers and teachers of polytechnics must be trained for this kind of track of training, that is the NSQF. They must become assessors and verifiers, and this can easily be arranged with the Nbte. The methodology for skills training in Nigeria composes, or across the world, composes of these different components. You could see about 6-7 components here. It involves both face-to-face training, practical sessions, field and industry visits, guest lectures, role plays, project work, student portfolio, etc. The most important thing is assessment of the trainees is done in the workplace. It's not like giving them exams in a classroom or in the workshop or in the lab. They have to go to the real workplace for proper assessment. And the other important feature of NSQF is it has international equivalencies. there are universality of standards. If you go to India, they have what they call Skill India. Australia, they have Skills Australia Institute. UK, they have UK Skills Federation, etc. Canada, US, everywhere, they have equivalencies for the Nigerian NSQF. Now, NSQF will therefore allow easy mobility of labor across the globe. And many countries are actually exploiting this opportunity by training young people in those countries and sending them across the world to fill skill gaps all over the world. We'll give a few examples in due course. So this is something which the Nigerian polytechnics need to embrace. Other TVET institutions, technical colleges, even at secondary level, the technical colleges must also be brought on board so that they also deliver the NSQF training. One country in Africa that is doing very well in skills training is Morocco. I was there some few years ago, and I was really impressed with what I saw, the kind of training going on in Morocco. And I believe Morocco could be a good role model for many African countries. At the moment, Morocco is enrolling annually about 500,000 youth from the age of 15, with about 320 different trades being covered in different locations of the country. And this is something very impressive. And I believe Nigeria can really learn from this very good example from Morocco. Now, other global best practices besides Morocco, if you look at, I have mentioned this already, that a lot of the best skill tailors and POP, plaster of Paris, even in Abuja, our capital, they come from Togo and Benin. If you go to Maiduguri, the best finishing work in construction is done by skilled artisans from Chad. Now, these are, these are points that Nigeria must rejig its TVET sector. Bangladesh in 2019 exported about 2.5 million skilled construction workers to Saudi Arabia, earning good salary and sending foreign exchange back home. And I'm giving an example of another Anglophone country in West Africa, where even if a lift, ordinary lift, when it fails, they have to run to a neighboring country, Senegal, in order to fix it. So that's why I feel there is need for us in Nigeria to really reposition TVET so that we can now deliver skills training. And it is skills that matter today, not degrees. A typical example is our Sokoto-born Jelani Aliyu, who did his HND in Birnin Kebbi and moved to the US. And when they vetted his ability to design motor vehicles, he did superbly well in the Chevrolet that you are seeing below. And he did it very well. And that's how the federal government brought him back to Nigeria to become the Director General of the National Automotive Design and Development Council here in Nigeria. So it is really important for parents to change their mindset. Parents generally prefer degrees to skills for their children. This mindset must be changed because the blue-white color dichotomy that we used to have in the past is now giving way. We are now having what they call the new color, instead of the blue and the white dichotomy. So this is a very important thing. And finally, not to take much of their time, I would like to conclude the moderator by saying that the future of work globally is based on a new currency. And this new currency is skills. TVET institutions should immediately roll out NSQ vocational training programs, working closely with their local industries to close the emerging skill gaps in Nigeria, skill gaps in the different infrastructural projects that are ongoing. While these interventions, infrastructural interventions, are vital to the economy, such interventions can only be sustainable if local skills are developed, not only to put those infrastructures in place, but also, more importantly, to maintain them over time. Nigeria and other developing economies must therefore invest more into skills development for the training of our teeming youth. Let me thank you all for listening. Let me also pray that God bless you all. Our hashtag is today skills, not degrees. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Idris Bugaje. Thank you very much for these wonderful insights. We are actually thinking of producing graduates for future jobs. Thank you very much for this presentation. And one of our guest speakers for today, Mr. Oluranti Jasper Netufo. Oluranti Jasper Netufo, are you with us? Okay. Is Professor Osinem with us? Professor Osinem?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Yes.
Just do your brief presentation so that you can attend your meetings.
Okay.
Professor Osinem is a professor of vocational education. Is a lecturer in from the University of Nigeria.